What's up everyone, Sean Count Blackgrith here today with an album review, this time of the 2013 Uniquely to Records release of Deeds of Flesh, Portals to Canaan. If you are not familiar with Deeds of Flesh, they are a brutal death metal band hailing from California that formed in 1996 and, 1993, put out their debut in 1996 and have just been decimating brutal death metal ever since. And here in 2013 they have put out another album, Portals to Canaan, and I must say this is pretty much their best album since Reduced to Ash. I've been a fan of these guys since about Mark of the Legion era when that came out, and they're just one of the best bands in brutal death metal. Their last album was kind of iffy for me, but they have really made up for it with this absolutely brutal piece of death metal. My God, where to begin with this? Pretty much this album is brutal death metal that doesn't rely on slams and full gutturals 24/7 sort of stuff like a lot of these brutal death metal bands are going around. These guys, they mean brutal as in just a non-stop assault upon your senses. They're just destroying everything in their path. Everything from the riffing to the drumming to the mixing, the bass, the vocals, everything is this over-the-top chaotic sort of death metal, but it's not too chaotic. It's not boring. A lot of brutal death metal to me is boring, kind of like Hate Eternal or Flesh God Apocalypse. I feel like those bands are just really, really boring because all they do is the same thing. They're just a one-trick band that does nothing but blast. There's a lot of awesome patterns here with the drums. Very unique drum work to say the least. Probably my favorite part of the album is the drum work. Just some extremely good fills, blast beats that are at odd tempos with the riffs, but it makes sense in an odd sort of way. Everything here is just crafted just masterfully. The riffs are not just a standard brutal death metal riff. They're filled with notes. They don't just hold one chord and go up and down the fretboard on it. They really mix it up a lot. And they do it in such a way where it feels like it's borderline technical death metal, if not full-on tech death. Just some incredible stuff. The guitar tone itself is perfect for what they're doing. A lot of bands, they're either in brutal death metal way too high up, so the bottom end is pretty much non-existent because they want the solos and they want all the notes to shine through, but they kind of neglect the bottom end. Where some bands, they kind of neglect the high end because they want the low end to just shine through so much on the brutal parts. There's a perfect middle ground on here, and if you're looking to do technical death metal, if you're a guitarist and you're wanting a really, really good tone that's perfect for everything, nothing that gets too muddy, nothing that has no punch, something that has no punch, you don't get anything like that with this. This is, for me, one of the perfect tones, guitar-wise, in death metal. You get a lot of really good solos on here that just rip through. They're quick, it's not over the top, it's not kind of wankery or anything like that, so to speak. It's just very well done, it's tasteful, and it delivers very, very well. When the heavy crushing part comes in, of kind of like a slam sort of thing. It's not really a slam, but I don't want to use the term breakdown, but just a really heavy crushing part comes in. It just punches you and then it leaves. And it leaves you wanting more. And that's the one thing I wish they would do a little bit more often is those sort of parts. Because for me, those are just some of the nastiest parts on the album. But it's still really good. Bass-wise, the bass sounds incredible. The bass has lots and lots of depth to it. It's not just a shallow technical death metal, brutal death metal bass. It sticks with the guitar and is kind of buried in the mix, or it doesn't have this really thin plasticky tone. It sounds very warm, very full, very robust. I love the bass tones on this. Just some really good stuff, kind of not sticking with the guitar exactly. It still has the same structure as some of the riffs, but it kind of deviates from it. And for me, that is what is great about this album in the bass department. When it comes to the drums, as I said, the drums are just filled with odd tempos, great blast beats. Nothing gets repetitive in the songs because they don't really repeat. And that is what I love about this band, is they don't like to repeat themselves, it sounds like. And they don't do that. This is some great stuff in the drum department. And drum sound wise, it is by far one of the best drum sounds they've ever had. Just everything is loud, it's punchy, it's not really clicky, it has a tiny bit of click to it, which is what you need when you play at speeds this high. But with that said, it's not over the top, it's not bad by any means. It just sounds really good, and as I've said in almost every death metal review, to have a heavy death metal album, you have to have a heavy drum tone. And they really understand that, because when the double kick comes in and the blast beats start, it just hits you so damn hard. You're just floored back when you hear it. And through a good stereo, those drums will kick your ass. Awesome stuff. Vocally, excellent low growl vocals. They're not guttural. They're right where you could still understand them, but kind of hard to. Very gruff, very low, very powerful vocals. Really good stuff. And then every once in a while you'll find some really weird electronic noises in the background or at the end of songs. Movie samples that work extremely well within the music. Just overall, it adds just another layer to the album and gives it that much more to grasp onto. Just some very good stuff. I have to say, this is an album that truly blew me away, and I recommend each and every one of you check this out. It comes out Tuesday, the 25th of June. Definitely pick this up. This is worthy of your purchase. For a score, I'm feeling a strong 9 on this album. I'm going to be listening to this for months to come. And one other side note, I don't usually talk about artwork. That cover is sick. Look at that. I love the colors that they used, and the whole booklet itself is just really awesome. I recommend you guys definitely pick this up. I'm gonna try to find a vinyl version of this because I need to have it. This is some really, really good stuff. As I said, this is a very strong 9 out of 10. Pick this up when it comes out. You have to. That's it, everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.